Good evening, it's K.Ho with In the Know. Well, with me, K.Ho. It is Monday, January 14th, 2013, and this is your latest installment of the sporadic and yet frequently updated podcast with yours truly, K.Ho, broker associate, attorney, and mediator with one of your best San Francisco brokerages, Vanguard Properties, located at 2501 Mission Street, vanguardsf.com on the web. Tonight's brief discussion talks about the long-coveted fixer-upper. In San Francisco, you're going to find a lot of them, and you're going to see, just like everything else, they don't come cheap. An average fixer-upper here in the city, especially in District 5 and 9, the southeastern portion of the city that tend to be sunnier, has been going pretty much for at asking or over asking price. Anywhere from the $600,000 range to over $1.5 million. Yes, for a fixer up in Noe Valley on Fountain Street. The interesting thing about fixers is that they are a lot of work and they are a lot of potential, but they're a lot more than a lot of people think about. And my job is to make sure you have a little more information than others, and that should you have any questions, I'll be able to get you the answer or get the people who know the answer and you connected. So let's think about how fixers start up. A lot of cases, fixers tend to be trust sales, whether or not someone has passed away and leave it to the heirs or trust administrators to sell the property, or whether or not they have to have court confirmation do it. There is a component of a trust sale, which basically means that the bottom dollar is the bottom line, is the dollar amount. There isn't as much relationship or soft people skills negotiating that tends to come with transactions dealing with sellers who are still owner-occupiers or sellers who have unique circumstances. No, in these type of trust sales, it's all about money and being able to split the proceeds among heirs, whether they be here in San Francisco, gone, or out of state, who knows, but it comes down to a matter of arithmetic. So that aspect is a little bit different, and beyond that, one of the big things that folks tend to underestimate is what's actually needed to be done. Your general inspector, contractor inspection isn't going to be as comprehensive as or realistic and pragmatic as an actual general contractor walking through the house with you. So during the inspection process or even before the bidding process, it's a good idea to get a few contractors out there to see exactly how much it might cost, because they're going to be able to give you an estimate based on their work. Check out their work before you see them, of course, and their understanding of what these homes may or may not need. And briefly, let's go over a few things that you want to check out if you are going to do a fixer. Let's start from the ground up. You want to try to check your foundation, whether or not it's a brick foundation, a concrete foundation, or updated foundation. Those costs, as you can guess, are going to be high if you have to go from a brick foundation, upgrade it all the way to a new concrete foundation with rebar, as you're going to have to excavate, dig out the old brick material, change up how it's connected to the house, and maybe even have to add in some steel or other seismic upgrades to make your house more stable in the event of an earthquake. Another thing you might want to look at is the plumbing in the house. Whether or not it's old galvanized steel requiring replacement to copper so it doesn't clog as easy or to improve the water pressure, or whether or not that entails changing how your house connects to the city sewer system. Sewer lateral pipe inspections are $70-odd, maybe $200, where a plumber sends a scope down to check it all out to see if it's cracked or not. But sewer lateral replacements can cost anywhere from $10,000 to $12,000. So it's pretty prudent to have that checked out earlier rather than later. Further going into the house itself, You might want to upgrade electrical, replacing circuit panels, circuit breaker boxes from fuses, replacing knob and tube or crusty old electrical supplies with more modern supplies, outlets, wiring, and whatnot is going to be costly, but also a safety issue as well as a convenience issue. After all, you don't want to drag extension cords all around your house. And also safety-wise, you're probably going to want to upgrade your electrical service anyway, because many of the homes in San Francisco are probably rated in the 70 amp range, when you probably want 100 or 200 amps for your modern homes with washer dryers, digital TVs, computers, irons, stoves, what have you. Beyond that, you want to take a look at the roof systems. Is it old? Is it new? You want to check the windows, whether or not you can replace them. You have to be careful because historic preservation guidelines will require wood in some neighborhoods, wood exteriors and mullions, versus the more conventional vinyl. Changing out window fixtures could also increase and improve your energy efficiency, as many of those older, huge windows, they are definitely custom, have big lead weights in the window frames that are essentially empty air when they're not being insulated, with them not being insulated. And fixing and raising those costs will help. Installing energy efficient water heaters or furnaces is an upgrade that may cost more in the short term, but have long-term benefits that are beyond the monetary savings, but also could be eco-friendly in the long run. Apart from that, if you want to upgrade your home on the inside, specifically if you want to open up your floor plan, Victorians and Victorian technology weren't what they are today. Open spaces and being able to have open spaces that are structurally sound are obviously reflective of the past 100 years, but opening all that up will require some work. But let's assume you're just going to try to upgrade room by room. If you're trying to start with a bathroom project, that's probably going to cost you anywhere from $20,000 to $30,000 for a decent upgrade of plumbing, certain plumbing fixtures, electrical fixtures, shower, tub, tile, and flooring, and proper ventilation. To do a kitchen upright, you're probably going to have to spend anywhere from $50,000 to $70,000, depending on what you want, what type of cabinets you want, appliances, countertops, backsplashes, lighting, you name it. You can go all the way up to millions of dollars if you really wanted to. But a nice, fairly decent kitchen that you'll be happy with for years to come will probably be in the $50,000 to $70,000 range, just to be conservative and to be safe. Beyond that, you're going to look at the roof, see if that's old or new. I think I might have already mentioned that. You want to look at windows, as we've already mentioned. Flooring. Most people think flooring is a really expensive cost, but a lot of times San Francisco homes already have great floors in them. You just need to refinish them. And refinishing floors isn't as expensive as you would think. An average 2-bedroom condo with 1 bath will probably cost you in the $2,000 to $4,000 range. Replacement, of course, is going to be more expensive. But beyond that, you have to factor in the time, the source of your construction funds, and also the administrative headaches and the unknown factor. Part of the unknown factor takes the neighbors and neighborhood into consideration. You never know. If you start doing exterior projects, or even if you want to paint, you might have to go through a historic planning review and or neighborhood notification, in which case your neighbors can put the kibosh on any plans that you have. That's especially true if you're going to raise your building up vertically, not raise as in tear it down, where you might impact someone's light rights or views, or simply if your neighbors don't like new progress or new architecture. Similarly, if your neighbors don't complain, the Historic Planning Commission or Historic Commission itself may come along out of the woodwork and stop your woodwork. But apart from that, the upside for a fixer is pretty incredible. You can pretty much count on getting most of your money back, let's hope, that you put into it. It's just a matter of wherewithal to actually go through the whole project itself. Anyway, that's a brief, very brief discussion of how you might want to upgrade that house that you see that needs upgrading that is otherwise known as a fixer. But if you want to learn more, feel free always to give me, K.Ho, a call or navigate to my website, www.kevinho.org. And I am signing off for now. So until then, have a great day and see you next time, or hear you next time. Take care.